Hello everyone, welcome to Moon Mage. Today's messages are all about the new moon happening in Aquarius on January 29th. If you are not interested in hearing an introduction about what this new moon is about, the energies it brings, and how it may affect us, you can go ahead down to the description box and pick a message 1 through 4. Have a look at the thumbnail. It's also in the opening of the video to see which moon is speaking to you, and then that will be your messages that are relating to this new moon and how you can navigate it best. But for the rest of you, if you are interested in understanding how this new moon may affect you, stick around. I'm going to talk a little bit about the energies around this new moon in Aquarius. So the new moon in Aquarius is all about new beginnings. All new moons are, but when it's happening in Aquarius, it's kind of kicked up a notch. So the potentials are much higher for new beginnings, fresh starts, things of that nature. It's very innovative. It's very good for manifesting. It's very good for leaning into out of the box thinking, like quirkiness, think quirkiness, and leaning into your quirks and utilizing them to the best of your ability. There's a rebellious energy with new moon in Aquarius, which can be used for really good things like out-of-the-box thinking and innovating new ideas and concepts instead of following norms, because Aquariuses don't like to follow social norms. They like to be more trailblazers and, again, think outside the box, not be so normal with everything. So this energy is really good for that. It can bring about some surprises and some changes and shifts that we weren't necessarily expecting as it moves towards culmination from the new moon in Aquarius to the full moon. So that's something to keep in mind moving forward. But I would say that on the main, this is a pretty good new moon for setting intentions, manifesting what you want, thinking outside the box. The caveat here with this new moon in Aquarius energy is, so I'm saying the darker side, the things that to be mindful of and watch for are overthinking, because that can be a real big thing for Aquarius energy. So much so that you don't take any action, because this new moon really wants you to not just plant the seeds and dream the big dream. It wants you to start acting on it. Really start making things move forward for yourself. So if you haven't got to a big dreamy idea yet, this is your time to do it, and then follow it up by taking actions. So be mindful of overthinking and how you use that rebellious nature. Being rebellious for the sake of being rebellious is not a good idea. There should be a meaningful reason as to why you're rebelling against something. Usually it's the status quo or social norms that just don't fit you because you have a better, more innovative idea. But if it is just for the sake of being rebellious, be mindful of that, because it can end up blowing back on you in a negative way. So that's also something to keep in mind, as well as the tendency towards perfectionism. And by this, I mean feeling like everything has to be just so and just lined up perfectly before you can actually do anything with these ideas, lest you miss opportunities or positive energy that's really supportive of you taking action. So it kind of leans into overthinking as well. So something to be mindful of. It doesn't have to be perfect, just do it. It's like take the Nike approach, just do it. And you can tweak things along the way, but you really want to draw down the idea, feel into it, trust it, and then start taking action on it. This new moon is so supportive of that. So it's all about embracing unconventional ways of doing things and then finding a way to realize that, manifest that. So we're going to have a look at some tarot cards and see what kind of messages are showing up for you. Messages 1 through 4. So have a look at the thumbnail I've mentioned at the start and see which moon is speaking to you. We will also look at some challenges that could potentially present, as well as what may need to be surrendered by you in order to see you moving in a positive direction with this innovation, with the ability to manifest and really lean into the potentiality that this new moon brings for fresh starts. So again, have a look at those moons, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. So I went ahead and pulled the main overarching energies just to save a little bit of time in the video, but let's have a look and see what kind of energy this new moon is highlighting for you guys. Okay, we've got adjustments are required, 3rd quarter moon. Okay, so whatever you've been thinking on, feeling into, wanting to manifest, you may need to go over it again and look at it again. Is it truly what you want? Are you settling any kind of ways? There could be an element of that here for some of you. Or conversely, are the details in need of some honing, some sharpening up? Like you might have missed a few things. Have you combed over too quickly? It's that kind of energy, really thinking things through and being open to, I thought it would look like this, but actually now that I'm feeling into it more and thinking about it more, I'm realizing this might be better. If you start to have those feelings, lean into it, because there's something that is real and true about that for my message one choosers, because it says adjustments are required. So needing to go over, look again, reconsider. This doesn't mean throwing out an entire plan or idea or concept that you had. It's just tweaking it. All right. Earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother. Slow down, time in nature. Okay. And I really feel like that's just highlighting how to go about connecting to what adjustments are needed. Whatever this is in regards to, whether it's a project, a thing you want to do, create, it could even be to something that you're trying to connect with as far as community goes, because I actually think I forgot to mention that in my intro, but community is also very much connected, community and collaboration to Aquarius energy. So it could be anything like that, but I think Spirit's highlighting your way to do this. It's connecting to the earth, getting really grounded, slowing down and giving yourself over to said connection so that you can receive a way through, a way forward. It just feels like there's these little missing pieces. And for some reason, I keep connecting to this energy of, are you settling a little bit? Or have you included your biggest desires and dreams? Are they buried a little bit? Like that are connected to you and what you bring to the table in some kind of way. Almost like hiding in the shadows a little bit too much with something about yourself that may need to be brought out. But again, all the more reason to give yourself over to some grounding, some time in nature, slowing down, meditation, so that you can understand where you need to tweak and adjust the ideas and plans that you have for yourself. Ooh, okay, the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. Rare gifts. That's what's standing out to me. This is the thing. This is what I think I'm trying to connect to. There's something within you. I feel like there's a block. Something about your inner child that says you have these rare gifts that need to be brought or be a part of the equation of whatever this plan is that you've been thinking on or creating, this project idea, whatever it is, that need to be considered and brought about. A little bit buried, maybe a little bit hidden, maybe even from yourself. All the more reason to give yourself over to this earth pulsing energy. Maybe even look that up, actually, because it's a thing that could really help you connect to yourself, your center, your soul, so that you can see which of your rare gifts, and I feel like there's more than one for my message one choosers, need to be fully realized and adapted to whatever this plan is, this situation is, this thing you want to do or be or bring about. Yeah, rare gifts, that really stands out to me for my message one choosers. It feels like there's little elements of yourself that you're either denying or hiding. I do think even from yourself. Maybe not. I think there are definitely some of you who are like, no, I know what they are. I'm just kind of afraid of them. And I fear what maybe others will think or say, or whether it's even something that could be an abundant thing for me in any kind of way, whether it's an abundance of connection and community or finances. It's like there's fear there. But it feels like it's very necessary to your plans and ideas. Okay. Surrender, stubbornness, and we've got adjustments are required. So really not digging your heels in about how you think something's going to look, because I really feel like it's a more spiritual reason why you're being asked to look again, because there's something of you and about you that needs to be brought to the situation, but you may be stubborn and not wanting to have to go back over. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. That earth pulsing, get centered. Start there so that you feel at peace and present. You'll be more open and more likely to be more relaxed in how you think things should be moving forward. Let's see, I'm going to go like that so that you can see that a little bit better, hopefully. And surrender to receiving support and love. Interesting too, right? Because stubbornness there and adjustments being required. I get the energy of feeling like you always have to do it alone. You're used to doing things all on your own, independently. Allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you, yes. But I get the sense that some of you are just really uncomfortable, that you're used to doing everything on your own. And you know, I said it already, but I wish I had mentioned it in the intro and I just kind of glazed over it. But Aquarius energy is very collaborative. It's very community-based as well. So whatever we want to do should be including others and how it will affect others in our lives, in our families, in our communities. So really lean into this energy right now, message one. It's only going to benefit you, and I recognize it's going to be out of your comfort zone, but I think at the end of the day, it'll bring about positive changes. It'll help you to adjust your course in a better way. And I think really connect you to that inner child, that these rare gifts that you have that need to be brought out and utilized for the situation. Let's pull some tarot cards. I keep feeling like one of a kind. You're one of a kind. With that rare gifts energy. But we need, it's this like this innovative energy that the new moon in Aquarius brings. And it's like innovation is best when it's shared, when our ideas and wants and needs are brought out and concepts so that other people can pull on them and you up level them even more. There's something to that here for me. It almost feels like work related or community based thing that we're looking at or dealing with here. Oh, okay, we've got one card that fell out there. Yeah, Magician in reverse, suggesting there's a little piece of magic from you that, again, that's not brought out, that's been buried, that needs to be reversed. And I feel like it really does start with that getting grounded and present, taking a breath out. Eight of Cups. Also just leaning into adjustments being required and that stubborn, not wanting to surrender stubbornness or digging your heels in about a situation, because it's reversed. So we're not wanting to walk away. We're not wanting to walk away from how we think it should look or what these ideas are that we've had. Yeah, just really, again, it's just reiterating what's already showed up here. Maybe ask yourself the reason that you feel like it can't look differently, or that there might not be adjustments that are needed or required in order to make the situation better. And also ask yourself, what pieces of you have you been holding back in your life, or especially in the last few years, because this is just an energy I'm getting, that are buried. And it's like that inner child's been trying to get your attention, say, you need to bring this to the table. It's going to be so needed and necessary. It's going to be so helpful. Other people will feel more comfortable. They'll be able to bring their ideas, and will be this amazing collective culmination of energy making this situation really, really good. Move forward is what I'm feeling. Okay, Page of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like there's an energy here of fear around finances and money. Like, we just have to do this. We have to do it this way. We have to do it now for fear of losing that money, like that fear. Because upright, it's the beginning. Messages coming in around finances of what to do. Epiphanies and ahas being seen, feeling really secure and stable in that. But it's reversed, suggesting that this is a part of the equation. Really tripping you up. But, with the way the other cards are coming out, I really feel like it's sort of like, what do they say? God's redirection is God's protection. It's like that. It's like, don't despair. It may be a little frustrating to have to go back over and make adjustments and redo. But in the end, you'll be so glad that you did, because it'll be better than you could have imagined. And I think more financially viable. Yeah, look, Ace of Cups. A new beginning, emotionally feeling stronger, more connected, especially to that heart space, to that love, to that sense of community from others and support. Okay, Page of Cups in reverse. Innovate, right? Innovation, innovative energy. That's Aquarius brings that so much. And it's so loud generally when it does. But if we're shut off, we're going to miss it. And this is suggesting that you're shut off from that innovative energy, that dreamy, connective energy. All the more reason to go back into this earth pulsing energy and allow time for that. Because ultimately, this is where you'll get. I see it. I understand it. These epiphanies. I know what adjustments need to be made. I can even see how it's going to be better. And I can see how this is going to allow me to show up more authentically and bring these gifts that I have not been utilizing or been buried within me for a long time out, so that other people can see them. I almost get a sense of, I feel like others around you might be quite surprised with you allowing that to happen and seeing and understanding what it is you need to bring to the table, that again, that you're not really connected to or leaning into about yourself at this time, and just the surprise from others about it and then around it. Like, did he or she really just do that? Did they really just have that gift all this time and we didn't know it? There's something to this so strong for me here for my message one. So really look at what that might be for you. Really give yourself over to this energy and kind of relax your barriers about how you think things should happen right now, because this pause and action, this is so that you can plant the seeds even better, even stronger, so that they culminate into something really powerful and wonderful for you. Yeah, okay, so like this, right? And I just looked at the bottom of the deck, and it's Five of Pentacles, but it is reversed when I'm looking at it, suggesting any financial worries, fears, or concerns, which I think is at the root of this problem for you, are going to be made better, stronger, healthier. You're going to come out of this energy because it's reversed. So something to mention here for my message ones, if you fear a financial loss as a result of maybe having to, pivot, do a 180, turn around, redo something. In the end, it'll pay off more. It'll be more abundant to go back, readjust, and then move forward. Okay, let's pull some moon manifesting cards. I like to use these cards with the concept and idea that the watcher can maybe use them as affirmations for themselves when they find themselves in fear, to remind you that you've got this, whatever your situation is. And yours is definitely one that feels like this will be met with resistance. Even this message, a frustration. So there's the image on the back of that card. It's that taking a time out, meditation, contemplation again, right? Really big ask here. I seek balance and grounding. Yep. Really start here, message one. I am honest with myself and others. And I'm honest with myself and others. And I think that's a little piece of it too. Like, I don't think that you're purposely trying to deceive yourself in any kind of way. It's just, there's some sort of fear around what needs to be adjusted and what you can bring to the table that you haven't, that you've long buried within yourself, these gifts, these talents that are really, really needed for your situation. So being honest with yourself about what that is and how you can lean into them more. Big, big ask to help make those adjustments so that your situation is even better. And that's the back of that card. I shine my light outwards for all to see, coming in with that, the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Yeah. There's a little spark of you too dimmed right now, that you've dimmed your light. Maybe because of other people, expectations, hurts and pains from the past. Who knows? But it is time to bring it back out. I shine my light outwards for all to see. Yes, absolutely, message one. Your light is needed in this situation, but so is the light of others to make the situation so bright and so powerful and so abundant. Okay, we're going to cap this off with a couple messages. Message one, really give yourself over to connecting to yourself, to your heart, to your inner child, to getting really present so that you can quiet overthinking, because that's such a thing under the Aquarius energy. Because I feel like you will have some ahas and epiphanies. You will see the truth of the situation and be able to get real and honest with yourself and make the situation better and make those adjustments without feeling overburdened by it, and bringing out the best pieces of yourself to make the situation even better. Goat. Act from your innate wisdom. Yep. Act from your innate wisdom. This is, I feel like, the result of you doing this, giving yourself over to this and adjustments, being that wise one, right? And it's the goat, right? And they're, what do we call these? Antlers, they're horns. Their horns connect upward to the heavens. So becoming a bit of a receiver in this time, getting into that magical energy that I think you naturally possess, but has been turned off. Dolphin, live joyfully in the present. There is so much of this energy in this message coming in for my group ones. Being present, being joyful. I say this all the time, and people are probably going to get really tired of it. But being joyful and playful and silly, whether you're singing, dancing, crafting, going for a walk, watching stuff that makes you giggle, the way that it raises us up energetic-wise has the most amazing and profound effects on our physical body, our emotional body, our soul body. So really give yourself over to that. Live joyfully in the present, right? And also that means bringing in your community, allowing support to come in a really big, strong way, message one. Because again, Aquarius energy is all about community and collaboration as well as individuality, and finding a balance in those. I almost feel like some of my Aquariuses are going to choose message one. It's just such a strong Aquarian energy here with that push-pull on. I can do it myself. Ooh, but I want to bring everybody on with me. I want support, but I want to do it myself. It's like that push-pull and trying to navigate that. All right, I think I am going to leave that there. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful new moon experience, and give yourself over to this grounding, connective energy. I think it's going to really help you shine your light bright, but also shine a light on what you need to do and adjust. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. So I've already pulled the main overarching energies just to save a little bit of time in the video, but we'll have a look and see what kind of energy is showing up for you guys under this new moon in Aquarius. Ooh, okay. We have a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries, so fiery energy. Interesting under new moon energy that you're going to have some sort of epiphany or clarity come through, but that looks like it's exactly what this is speaking to. Whether this is an internal one, which very well could be, where you have an understanding and an aha moment, feeling really like, I see it now, I get what needs to be done, or whether this is within a group setting, because Aquarian energy does connect to community collaboration and connection. A fiery climax approaches. Okay. Let's see what else is going to be with that. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Okay, so really gonna need to lean into decisiveness at this time, because it almost gives the feeling of these events have provided you with lots of options and choices. Free will is what I'm trying to say. It's sort of like it's not predestined. You get to choose whether to go left or right, and should choose from your heart space and your soul. It really is up to you. And when this kind of card shows up, I always think that it's because the person who chose this message actually doesn't always trust themselves when it comes to decision making. So there's an element of that here that I feel you might need to lean into, looking at how you can trust yourself more to make good decisions, and trust that you have the ability to make good decisions for yourself. Because I feel like there's a story there. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. Yeah. So not getting caught up in the Aquarian energy of overthinking, because that can be a thing, right? Feel your way into what feels best for you, and you'll be on your way. It'll be the right action. I do feel like there's an energy of decisiveness, like a problem wanting to be decisive, or fear of making the wrong decision, I think is the long-winded thing I'm trying to say. But there's rewards there for you in doing so. But I think it means following your heart. And, you know, fiery climax too, that could be just like ignited passion and inspiration that you should follow, even if it evokes fear, right? They always say if our dreams don't scare us, then they're probably not big enough. Okay, earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Ooh, okay. So there could be some of you might be experiencing a very big spiritual calling, or have been having an awakening. And in fact, this fiery climax could have to do with having some kind of awakening where it sort of throws you off. You're like, I was not expecting that. Like, this came in hot and fast and quick. I'm receiving all this spiritual, what feels like spiritual connection. It will be spiritual connection. It could definitely make you feel off kilter and a little bit, you know, fearful and indecisive. So your big ask, your challenge here is to find a way to be that spiritual person, embody it, embrace it, and make decisions according to it from your heart, while still remaining in, you know, in your humanness and in the living your day-to-day life, having to do the mundane, because that's a part of the equation too. That's why it says learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Maintaining that spiritual connection, but recognizing that you're here for a purpose, to live this human life out. So how can you find a balance between the two? It doesn't have to be one or the other. Message two. You can be both. It is a hard line to walk, though. All right, let's see what needs to be surrendered here for my message twos. I feel like epiphanies are coming your way, understandings, powerful spiritual connection. That feels like such a thing here for me, for my message twos. Trust that. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at the card. We're talking about surrender fear. Yeah, I think this is going to scare some of you. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Look at the way that this woman is going into all that light. Oof, cautiously, nervously. I'm a little bit scared, but I'm being pulled in that direction. I want to keep going in that direction. I can be both a powerful spiritual entity in a human form in this world. Like, there definitely is that fear that I was feeling right out of the gate. I'm just going to read that again. Making a mess over here. Okay. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Yes, you've got this. You're being called to action. I feel definitely you're awakening soul. This may have been happening for a long time for some of you. And if that's the case, and it's been sort of more of a slow progression, I feel like there's some sort of amplification around this. It's going to blow up in a much bigger way for you very soon. I didn't finish shuffling my cards here. Ooh, okay. Surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Interesting, because so far in both readings, we're talking about the individuality, very Aquarian, and community connections, also very Aquarian. The polarity there showing up in both messages, and no different for you, message two. Where might you be a little bit more, I don't like the word controlling, but I think, because I don't think we're always aware when we're doing that. It's just that if you're a very highly spiritual being, and I think that you are, there can be a sense of, I know it, I see it, I feel it, I know you need to do this, I know it should look like that. But we have to allow space for other people to grow, whether that's through hardship or mistakes. It doesn't matter. These are their mistakes to make, to learn from, to learn through. And so I almost get the sense of, for some of you, it's not so much that you're trying to be over controlling or sabotage things. It's more that you really do see it, and you really do feel like you're connected to the answers, and you have an inner knowing of what to do, but allowing space for others to show up and bring what they have to offer to the table, whether it's right or wrong, is exactly what you're being asked to do. Be more collaborative in this way, more open, open to collective energy and ideas, right? So they can be amalgamated, because eventually that'll end up being a better situation, I feel here. So again, being over controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Yeah. So not the time to push on anything for my group twos. It'll come. Your way through will come. And this fiery climax too could be connected to some conflicting energy, because it's conflicting ideas, right? And so another message here, because this is general, would be to not try to force your hand in the situation or your ideas or opinions. Even if you do feel in your gut you've got the way forward, not the time to do it. It will likely only blow the situation up and make it worse. Options are forthcoming. A way through is forthcoming. Rewards, wild card energy, things you can't quite see yet. Know and trust that. You can back off of this and not kind of force your will in any sort of way. Just allow. Lots of polarity as the individual versus the group here, though, for my message twos. Okay, I'm going to pull some tarot cards here. I also get like a little bit of a black sheep energy here for my message too. Sometimes like being in the world and not of it. Not always finding it easy to relate to everybody, because you are built a little bit differently. You are more spiritual nature. You are more connected. You do feel things and experience things differently, making it more difficult when it comes to connections and community and finding your people and your tribe. There could be an element of that too here for you guys to keep in mind. Okay, Two of Wands in the reverse, that fiery, take action, balanced energy, not quite there right now due to fear and not knowing for sure how this situation is going to move forward, especially if there's some upcoming energy that could be a little bit destabilizing. Stalled. Things being stalled right now, right? Because we've got Seven of Pentacles. So in a financial way as well, not a lot of growth and expansion. See, because upright like this, we're looking at seeds well planted, growth happening, and the energy of trust. But I think that, again, there's some not seeing eye to eye, fear, worry, concern, causing the situation to be a bit stalled. But there's going to be a shift. There's going to be some sort of illumination that happens, and how you handle that and move through it is going to matter, I think, quite greatly. Not forcing your hand, being open, receptive to other people's ideas and situations, recognizing your own fear. Because I can't shake that. I really think my message twos are going to are expanding in a spiritual way as well, as you're dealing with this human stuff, right? Being in the world but not of it, dealing with the human stuff, the issues within community, workplaces in a very human way, and meeting people on a very human level, while also going through this crazy spiritual experience or awakening of sorts, where there's higher mind and wisdom coming through and trying to balance that. That's tricky. But I definitely think that's a thing here for my message twos. Wow, this came out in message one as well. Upright, though, which is really good, which is coming into answers. And because we've got fiery climax they're approaching, seeing your way through, no more stalled momentum, financial stability returning in a smaller way. And this could be through messages, learning of things, all the more reason to be open and not too controlling around the situation, lest you miss the messages or the way through and forward. But this is exactly what's on the cards for you guys. This is what's going to show up. And that sense of feeling balanced in it, stable. Holy cow, these two cards came out in message one. Eight of Cups, walking away. This was reversed in the other one. But being able to walk away from something that no longer serves you, a problem, a situation, even a mindset, I think, for some of you. Emotionally feeling strong and stable again. You know? Because this is general, sometimes I worry that I get too all over the place when I'm giving the messages, but because it's general, there's going to be multiple and varied messages coming through. I almost feel like some of you are going to feel something's going to come through where you can see a way through financially to find security and stability so that you can walk away from a group, a situation, a job that doesn't serve you anymore. being able to see that through and have the answers come through for you in that way. So you can leave that behind. I think that's a message for some of you. Yeah. Look at this, Ace of Swords. Cutting through the noise, cutting through overthinking, feeling clear, moving forward. It's the beginning stages of moving forward, but this is exactly what's on the cards, quite literally, for you guys. I really do think that there's a lot going on here for my message to choosers. I feel like there's multiple messages. I think that some of you are going through a massive shift in the identity of who you are and your sense of self. It's a big spiritual awakening of sorts. Whether it's happening slowly or not, there's going to be an amplification in it, a heightened connection. Not being able to see yourself through a situation to maybe cut, sever ties with a group, a job, a group of people that you don't really resonate with anymore, that black sheep energy that I was feeling, I think is on the cards, being able to see your way through it, not leaning into the conflict of it, not getting too fiery and feisty about it, kind of like not burning bridges, is going to help you transition and move away in a much smoother way. Because it definitely is like there's a story going on here, like inner fear and worry and concern, and having that inner knowing and not being able to utilize it because maybe the group setting, the community is not the right one for you. But coming into some knowing about how you can shift and change this. For some of you, it's going to be walking away from this group, this situation. It could be family members, could be a job. I do think that's a big one for some of you. And coming into that clarity, right? And really utilizing it like your flashlight leading you forward. But I just keep thinking of baby steps. Like, I think it's not going to be how to go about this and seeing your way through it. It could come in rather quickly, but actually taking action on it, this is what I'm trying to say, is going to be a little bit slower. You're going to have to baby step your way through it, but you will. You will. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry, message 2. Let's pull some moon cards. Hopefully, I didn't go too off the rails here for you guys with too many messages. Wow. Okay, all 3 cards fell out. Okay. I am curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself. Whew. Yep. Definitely a spiritual awakening happening here for my message twos. I definitely think that some of you have already been experiencing this, going through it, and it's been like, holy cow. But it's about to expand in a massive way. And it does connect to what you're doing, who you're connected to, communities, collaborations. But again, just keep that piece of wisdom in mind to be careful not to exert your thoughts, beliefs, desires on everybody else too much so and can try to control others with it. Let them move through the situation and their own personal evolution as they see fit on their own terms and their own time. I'm curious about my true nature. I seek to understand myself. Yeah. I know myself deeply and find myself worthy. Wow. Really, really, dealing with some fear. And you know what? When you start to become more spiritually connected to your soul self and your awareness up levels, it does uncover so much of the fears that we hold. And a lot of times there is a sense of like imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, to lean in and dive into who we truly are, to let the world see that. And this is like a starting point for you, that baby step your way to your authentic self is really showing up strong here for you guys. I will not remain stuck. I choose change. Yeah. And it's showing up here for you. So the opportunity to be doing that is starting now under this new moon influence, to be able to see the way forward, to disconnect from the things that aren't working for you, to gain that clarity, to find your way to that sense of financial security and prosperity. I will not remain stuck. I choose change. Absolutely. But, there's that internal struggle, right? Because we have that with being in the world, being human in this world, but not of it. It is a really hard line to walk. When do I be fully in my spirit being and fully in my humanness? Well, the idea is to amalgamate the both, to bring them together in a beautiful way. Hard to do, but possible. And I feel like opportunities for that are showing up for you now. But I do think that some of you are going to have to make hard decisions around your community, your connections, who you collaborate with, who even your relationships and the way that you show up in them. There's some shifts and changes that need to happen there. Okay. I'm going to cap this off with just a couple of messages here, like from Spirit, from my beautiful message 2 choosers. You know, I was talking about it in my intro about the rebellious nature of Aquarius, and that if we're not using the rebelliousness in a meaningful way, it can tend to cause problems and conflicts. And I feel like that's sort of the message here with that surrender your desire to control. Stay balanced and in your essence. Being human in the world, but not of it. Recognizing I am a spiritual being, but I am also here human, having a human experience. It's so tricky. But finding a way to this is going to be a really good idea for you guys. Stay balanced and in your essence. And we've got guinea pig. Do your part to illuminate the universe, right? So being sort of like a guiding light rather than a guiding force. Does that make sense? Like shining your thoughts, feelings, and ideas on people, but with a very detached, like whatever you want to do with that information, totally up to you. I'm fine with it. You do you, right? Kind of like that. Do your part to illuminate the universe. Yeah. All right. Okay, message 2. I don't think I need to touch on anything else. I really hope that all of you have a beautiful new moon. Really connect to your heart to take some baby steps forwards towards becoming more of your true, authentic soul self, allowing this expansion to occur, because it's going to be very illuminating for you on the way forward to stability and strength, to that balance between human and spirit, and being able to walk away from things that just don't serve you. And you will have the foresight, and the thoughts are going to come through to help you do just that. But be very mindful of how you show up for others, and whether your good intentions look like control to other people, because you're going to want to detach from that so that the situation doesn't get messier. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave that there. Take care. Hello, message 3. Let's have a look and see what is showing up for you guys. Okay, we've got new moon energy. It's Cancerian energy, so watery, probably connected to home. You and your loved ones are safe. Yes, okay. So some fears in and around and surrounding the home front and how things are going there, whether they're running smoothly or not. Just concerns in general around the safety of your family. But this is saying you and your loved ones are safe. So there could be an element here for some of you of control. This always makes me think of mothering energy. It could be fathering energy as well, where you're a little bit afraid to let go of maybe the grip that you have when it comes to your family, your children especially, letting go, like kind of trusting them to go off on their own or make decisions. That could be a tricky thing for you. It could also be a cause for you to not allow things to happen for yourself and really think about yourself, because you're so connected to their well-being. And sort of like your happiness is so connected to their happiness. There's something to that here for me, but we'll look at what the other cards say. The 7 Star Sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. Okay, so a bit of a call to action here for my message 3 choosers. I definitely get a lot of maternal and paternal energy coming through. Parents who are having a hard time detaching from their children's well-being and happiness, really feeling like you need to have a handle on that and be there in all ways, all the time. But I feel like Spirit, Universe is highlighting that this is your time now. You're coming into a time where it should be about you and what you want and how you can be expressing your essence, yourself, bringing your creativity to the surface, allowing it to be seen. Kind of just sort of like, it almost gives me, when you're sending kids off to school and your house is going to be a lot quieter, or your kids are teenagers now, And you really don't have to be all things to them all the time, but you recognize that your happiness is directly connected to their happiness, and it's hard to detach from that. And it can stop us. It can stop us from growing and evolving for ourselves, because eventually one day they are going to be fully gone, and we still have to have a sense of self. And I feel like this is maybe what I'm really trying to say here. Have you lost your sense of self? Are you so consumed and worried about the people you love and care about, whether you have children or not? If you chose this message, you're like, I don't even have kids, but you're somebody who's really there for the community. You're empathic and compassionate, and you're always taking care of others. You're a caregiver, whether it's to your own aging parents, to your friends, to your family members. You're the one. You're that peacekeeping, empathic, compassionate person who cares for others greatly and deeply, but often forget yourself. This is what I'm feeling here from my message 3. So you don't even have to be a parent. That's just the energy that I'm pulling on right away to understand the messages coming through here. I feel like you've left yourself to the wayside. There's this fear around what happens if you don't show up the way that you always have for others, for the people you care about, and make sure that they're okay. What happens if you actually give yourself time and you make yourself a priority for once? There's fear around that. But this new moon energy is so positive for manifesting and creating and innovating. And I feel like Spirit in the universe is coming in really strong to say this is your time to do just that for you. Okay. Did I say something about grip? Holding on tightly? Like, I don't know if I did. Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms. Density. Addiction. Let God in. Okay, yeah, so much fear and anxiety about letting go and allowing others to figure it out for themselves sometimes. This doesn't mean you completely detach from being that nurturing, caring person, but now is the time to start loosening that grip a little bit. And I feels like it's very much connected to yourself, for you, so that you can start becoming your best authentic self, creating, manifesting, bringing a new beginning for you, all about you. And again, it doesn't mean that you stop being these things for all these people, just not in the same way, not to the same extent or same extreme. And there's anxiety here too with coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Like the fear in you, I think, is so loud, and the worry around it is so loud, that even finding a way to connect to what your soul's trying to get you to see about yourself, this beauty within you, this expression that wants to be expressed, these creations that want to be manifested, it's like it can't get in there because of these coping mechanisms, because of these fears. It's a big block here for my message 3s. But, remember, the main message here for you guys is that you and your loved ones are safe. You really are safe and free to go about making yourself a priority now, to creating boundaries, healthy boundaries about the way that you show up for others. Oh, Lordy, that could have been real messy. So if this is showing up for you right now, 2 messages, because now is the optimal time. You really want to give yourself over to this. Surrender, denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are, without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. Okay. So when we don't want to see certain things and we react blind to it, and I do feel like this is more connected to you, the self, than it is to others. Very likely is connected to others too, though, right? Because there's this feeling of I need to control everything because I am the glue in all kinds of situations, in my community, in my connections, in my home life. And if I let that go and I let go of control there, everything's going to fall apart. Like that fear energy. But there's something that you're denying, I think, about these situations and these people, and about yourself and what the self you need. Accept people and situations exactly as they are, without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions, right? So not trying to fix everything all the time either, I think, is part of the message. Look at this. Surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that can come from just being you. Yeah, just be you. And I feel almost like some of you have lost what that even means for you at this point, because you are such a people pleaser, a giver, a lover, more comfortable giving than receiving, more comfortable being the one that's needed than being the one that needs. But it is time to give back to yourself, and this new moon is providing the optimal energy and opportunities to just do that. And you do have this magic, but it's that I've loss of sense of self in some ways. And this time, this energy is really going to help you reconnect to those lost pieces. And it's safe. It's safe for you to give yourself this time. I think it's going to evoke a lot of guilt, I think, in my message for you choosers. But try your best to recognize when that's happening. This is just guilt because I'm so used to showing up this way and being this for all these people all the time and not allowing anything to be about me. It's not bad. It's necessary. We can't pour from an empty cup anyways, right? It's really hard to give of ourselves when our soul is really, really calling us and urging us to make ourselves a priority, to listen to our inner child and really connect to what it is that we're here to do, our purpose, our passion. All things that I feel is true here for my message 3 choosers. You matter, you count. What you want and desire matters and counts. All right. So 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, feeling imbalanced, not so stable, not so secure, right? You and your loved ones are safe. We know this already. A big factor. So this might not only be in an emotional sense, but also in a financial sense. All the more reason for you to be feeling unsafe and unsure and insecure about backing off in any kind of way. 9 of Cups, yeah. And there it is, right? Financially and emotionally not feeling safe and secure. Really being the biggest issues here and blocks to you birthing a new creation for yourself, a new concept and idea, connecting to your soul, allowing your true expression and authentic self to be seen and understood and leaned into, right? Surrender to the magic of who you are. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So much fear, worry, and concern around family and your family's security and stability. Really, all your time and energy going into this, to these thoughts, these concerns. Maybe even some of you have been called on by family members to provide financial support, or they're going through a really hard time, and all your energy is being expended on how to help them, how to make things better for them. Being a really big issue here, and it's in the reverse here, so it's suggesting this is such a powerful energy that's really overtaken your life. But with you being asked, with the ask cards, the pieces of guidance from spirit being to surrender to the magic of who you are, that you're worthy, that you're unique, that you have expression and gifts and things to bring to this world, and that all your energy doesn't need to be going here. This is where you need to look. This is where you need to lean into. Okay. 4 of Swords in the reversed. So not taking the rest that you need, right? Holding on too tight, not loosening that grip, using coping mechanisms that are not necessarily healthy for you. Letting God in is the big ask here for you. Releasing your grip, inviting God energy and giving yourself over to, I'm going to say like meditation, massage, self-care, sleep, rest. Really a big need for you guys right now. All your energy, all your entire self has been given over to the situation and others, but it's time to get back to you in a very big way. Okay, Knight of Wands in reverse. All right. So upright, we're feeling a bit ready to go, right? We're excited. Things are moving quickly. easy come, easy go kind of energy. It's in the reverse, suggesting this is going to be a process. This isn't going to shift and change for you overnight. Your mindset, the way that you're feeling, how you've always been and shown up for everybody else. This is not going to be just an easy transition. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take time. But to me, this always feels like a slow burn is coming. If you are willing to accept and lean into it, trust that the time is really now for you to start thinking of you and putting you first and detaching from the needs of others in an extreme kind of way, and really connecting all your happiness to how others are doing and feeling, especially if it's like family members and children, I think, for some of you. General, right? So that won't resonate with everybody. But the potential to do just that is here. And like I said, I'm going to bang on like a broken record, but this new moon is offering up powerful energy to surrender to the magic of who you are, to see the truth of things, to no longer deny what it is that you need. And I think that's a big part of the denial here. This is what I need, but I feel selfish and guilty for wanting this for myself right now. But you can back off, because as this says, your loved ones are safe. Like this, they'll be okay. It is safe for you to back away and make you the priority right now. I was compelled to look at the bottom card here, which I really liking, because sound judgment coming in, seeing the truth, finding balance, surrendering that denial, right? That truth coming in. That's what this judgment card is all about. I see it. I get it. I'm connecting to that higher mind. I'm understanding better. And I'm going to use the sound judgment to move forward. But again, it's going to be a slow burn, and there is a need for you to rest, to step back, to detach, to contemplate. Give yourself over as much as you possibly can to that energy. I have a new moon. It's just a 5-minute new moon meditation that came out the day before this reading. I would recommend checking it out. And then also other meditations that help you connect to your self-love, your soul self, your center. I think these things would be really beneficial for you at this time and so needed. Like self-care just keeps coming up for me, for my message 3 choosers. You really need a lot of self-care and rest and boundaries right now to connect to that soul, to your center, to your self-expression, to your magic. And, I feel like these things start to show up for us in our lives when it's becoming more imperative. Like, hey, you've got something that this world needs, that this community is going to need. These are your gifts and talents. They're very suppressed. They're very hidden. They probably are likely connected to helping others in some way or nurturing others in some way, but from a place that feels really good and right for you, where you're in control of it. And it brings you joy rather than heartache and headache and worry. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to pull some moon cards. I always like to add these cards in so that if we catch ourselves in negative thinking or unhealthy coping mechanisms, addictive behavior that we recognize is not good for us, but we're so used to it, it's a pattern, we do it. I think of these cards and I tell everybody to use them as an affirmation for yourself when you catch yourself thinking those ways negatively or in heavy energies or bad patterns. Whatever it is. Okay, we've got, I explore my wildness and dance in pleasure. Yeah, like that Seven Sisters energy, birthing creations, enjoying life, expression. This is where you're being led to. This is what this Aquarian energy wants for you. Innovation, manifestation, new beginnings, all about you. And it doesn't mean you completely disconnect from everybody you care about. I just feel like you'll show up even better for them in a healthier way as a result of you giving yourself over to you time, self-care, self-expression, and bringing your magic back. And we've got failure is only learning. I move with confidence and resilience. Okay, you and your loved ones are safe. Now, this makes me think, has there been some financial mistakes for some of you? You've made some mistakes financially that have maybe cost your family in some way. And so maybe you're really, really holding on to some guilt and shame around that. Conversely, it could be that others have, and you've had to fix it. Either way, failure is only learning. I move with confidence and resilience. If you feel like you failed at something or something is your fault, you are strong enough and resilient enough to overcome this and find solutions. And they're definitely connected to your personal brand of magic. I have power. It is real. You are magic. You've got this. You really will be able to move through whatever this situation is for you. It is general, so it's different for all of us. I do think some of you are dealing with guilt and shame around perceived failures and mistakes that could have cost your family in some way, financially, or even emotionally. It could be, making a choice to move away from a partner and that hurt the children. It doesn't have to be children. It could be in friend groups, in a work environment. Apply it to your situation, whatever makes sense for you. Either way, there's a lot of guilt here. There's a lot of shame here. There's a lot of, I have to be all things for all people and put myself to the wayside. That's the way I've always been. I'm the carer. I'm the nurturer. I'm the empath. You can be all those things without losing yourself and denying who you are and what it is that you need. And this is the big ask for you guys under this new moon. Really lean into this as much as possible. Healing out these things, these fears, these perceived failures, worries and anxieties, so that you can reconnect to your power. Okay, card fell out. So we have one card that fell out, but I'll shuffle for the next card. The first one was Turtle. Simple message, Turtle, be joyful and trusting as much as you possibly can. I say this constantly, but joy, playfulness, silliness really does up-level our energy in ways that we can't even imagine. We never think about it because we're just content in those moments. But being content through joy and playfulness is so powerful. So give yourself over to that. Be joyful and trusting. Use power with wisdom, bear energy. I have power. It is real. Use your power with wisdom, right? Marrying them up. I am powerful. I am that I am. And now I'm also wise. And we had that judgment card on the bottom, right? Getting clear in a really balanced, positive way. This is something that I think that you're going to come into, but I do think it's going to be in a slower way. Like this forward momentum is going to happen. It's just going to be more of a slow burn than something really quick. I also go right away to like mama bear energy. Protective. You are naturally this, but it can be utilized in a healthier way that benefits others, but also doesn't detract from you and your own needs and desires, right? And bears are very territorial and they have boundaries. So that comes to mind as well here with those really firming up those boundaries for yourself. Message 3. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you guys all have a beautiful new moon and really give yourself over to some rest, self-care, and recuperation. It's going to really help you reconnect to yourself, your soul, and your power so that you can move through this situation and see it start to turn in a positive direction for you. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. So I pulled the main energies just to save a little bit of time, but let's have a look and see what's showing up for you guys. Ooh, surrender to the divine, full moon. And we're going to pull surrender cards too, but surrender to the divine. So this could be saying that you're going to receive or have been receiving impulses, messages, little flashes of inspiration, and you're really going to want to trust those and lean into them because it would seem that this new moon energy is going to provide a lot of insight for you. It's very optimal for you connecting to the divine, to inspiration that you should absolutely follow. So making sure that you're open to this. And it's interesting because it says full moon. So your starting point could be this new moon Aquarius energy, and it will start to expand and become more extreme or connected as you approach the full moon, leading up from the new moon. Hopefully that makes sense. Whale and Orca elders, share your song, frequency of sound and diving deep. Ooh, deep diving into the connection to the divine. So some of you might be having a bit of an awakening starting here for you. If it hasn't already, it could expand in a really big way. This sort of was an energy that showed up in one of the other readings. Sharing your song too, like, so what you receive and how you receive it. You could receive wisdom that's beneficial to not just yourself, but others, that you should be sharing in some kind of way. Expression comes to mind as well, how you express yourself. But giving yourself over to diving deep into what shows up for you. It almost feels like divine knowledge, like being channeled through you in some way, and then communicating that to others. To the ones you trust. There can be some fear around that for us sometimes when we think, oh gosh, how is this going to be received? How am I going to explain how I know this to these people who are very practical and rational, especially. The blue flame. Oh, oh my gosh, okay, I can't talk. Slow down. The blue flame, spontaneous awakening. Yes, activation, integration time. Yeah. So if you feel a little bit off energetically, like a little bit of vertigo, or just not quite stable, or like you're experiencing weird vibrations in your body, I feel like this is your heads up from Spirit, the universe saying, it's us, we're upgrading you, we're up-leveling you, we want to bring you wisdom, we want to bring you information, we want to help you really connect on a deep soul level to our guidance so that you can then in turn use it for others in some kind of way. Because this is something that I can't seem to shake with this reading, is that you're meant to share this with others in some way, like channeling divine wisdom and communicating that to others in some way, like a guide of sorts. Obviously, this is general. That's not going to resonate with all of you. But either way, this new moon is going to see you being activated. And it says spontaneous. It could be a little destabilizing for some of you. You're like, what the heck is going on? I feel vibrations. I'm getting weird headaches. I'm feeling nauseous, and then I feel this sense of elation. I'm receiving all these weird downloads and intuitive hits and inspirations. What is going on? That's what's going on. But the more surrendered we are to it, the more open we are, I feel like the gentler it is. As opposed to if we're a bit resistant, it can feel very destabilizing. So the more open you are to this, the better I think it'll be for you. Message 4. Let's see what some surrender cards are here for you. We've already got one right in the middle. Surrender to the divine. Okay. You know, it's funny. I chose to put the blue moon on for this reading. And you would have chose the blue moon as well in the thumbnail with the cat. Cats are very connected to the spiritual realm. A lot of times people think cats are extremely intuitive, and they act as bridges to the spiritual realm. So that's just interesting because we've got the blue flame, which is about awakening and activation. I got the blue moon up here and then the blue moon on the thing. So blue seems really important to me as well for you guys, as it relates to spirituality and your connection to spirit. So maybe even doing like a meditation that's connected to the blue flame. Surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. Wow. So if you've had answers, or you felt lost or confused in any kind of way, or unsure, no matter what it is regarding, this is your time to really receive and surrender to the divine wisdom that comes through, because you will receive. Like, it's like that portal is open. Your energy is being upgraded so that you can connect to the messages. But surrender to prayer. Give yourself over to this action at this time, which really does lean into being receptive and open to it, rather than feeling a little bit restricted and resistant to this being a thing for you. Because it will be a lot easier and a lot gentler if you're open rather than resistant. Wow. Surrender to your intuition. I definitely surrender to prayer, surrender to the divine, Spontaneous awakening and activation. And oh my gosh, I cannot talk once again. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. And now we've got surrender to intuition. This is very, very spiritually powerful message 4. If you chose message 4, big, big upgrade, huge awakening, massive connection. It really does feel like being channeled through you and as you. But I say all this to say, I do think it's showing up because there's resistance here. Either that or too much distraction, which could allow you to feel these symptoms that make you feel off kilter and out of balance, but not really stopping to pause to recognize what they are so that you can do something with them and receive. All the more reason. This says tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Yes. Really, really be open to this. It's coming up in such a big way here that I do think that there's got to be some restrictive energy that causes this to be potentially not seen or connected to by you. So remove any and all unnecessary distractions around the time of this new moon so that you can really be a good receiver here and give yourself over to prayer. When you pray from the heart, you will be heard throughout the universe and answers and support will arrive. And then, you have to lean into the trust of your intuition that it's telling you the truth, that you are receiving accurate guidance and wisdom. What is it? Ask, believe, receive. I'm asking, I'm believing, I'm receiving. Lots of blue. Some believe that even wearing the colors that, like if you were wear the color blue, that would be beneficial to you. And I'm thinking that might be a thing as well. Blue crystals. Look at moonstone. For some reason, I'm feeling moonstone. Moonstone's really good at connecting to our intuition, like drawing down that moon energy. Moonstone, blue crystals, angelite. That's what I kept seeing it in my mind's eye, and I couldn't think of what it was, but angelite. Whew. Okay. Okay, so we've got 9 of Pentacles, and look, it's that energy of like receiving, and it's from that. Is it a hawk that's up there? It's a hawk that's up there. Messages coming through. Really powerful message for my group 4s. You are going to be receiving divine messaging, and it's accurate, and it is wisdom for you. Trust it. Go for it. Reach for it. Trust it. Believe it. I keep saying trust it because I do get this resistance. I think I'm going to need you to confirm this like 8 times before I believe that it's true. Something like to that effect. But it is coming for you in a big, powerful way. Message 4. It's that ask and you shall receive. 7 of Wands, right? And this connects to powerful choices, inspiration coming through, really connecting to our soul, our power, and our center to choose what right for ourselves, to have received the inspiration, the wisdom, sit with it, and then move. It's like that. Feeling very connected to it in a very powerful way, right? Receiving it, sitting with it, and then move. Okay. Ooh, I like this in reverse. Surrender to the divine. The devil in reverse. Kind of suggesting breaking free from patterns that don't serve us, that block us, from habits from the past, limiting beliefs. This can connect to so many things that we've done in our past that just don't serve us anymore, like end, cut, sever. I say that a lot. This looks like exactly what's being asked for you to do, to disconnect from it if you haven't already. I think some of you have been working on this, but for others, that's the big ask. Surrender in surrendering to the divine. What habits are there that stop you from doing this? What patterns? What addictive behaviors? How can you disconnect from them more? What distracts you? Are they healthy distractions? Or are they there just because maybe there's some fear around surrendering to the divine? Because it might mean that you'd have to show up differently. Either way, that's the big ask. Disconnecting from that, from those habits, those limitations, those distractions, behaviors, again, that just they don't benefit you in any way when it comes to your connection and your very powerful connection to the divine. Okay, Nine of Swords. This kind of connects to heartache and loss. So this could be giving us a bit of a heads up about what's difficult for you in surrender, what's been pains from the past, sorrow, things not having worked out, having been burned, hurt, disheartened in some kind of way, acting as a barrier or a block, looking at that narrative, sitting with yourself with it to understand it so that you can release it. For some of you, this may even be the ask, how do I get out of this pain and this heartache? I feel spirit nudging me. I feel their presence. I know I have more to do with my gifts, my abilities, my spiritual abilities that I feel quite powerful to me for my group fours. But I'm in this pain and heartache, this sense of loss, this that I can't get out of. I really feel like for some of my group fours, these are so connected, like the not being able to surrender that, excuse me, that these bad behaviors, they're so connected that you might not even recognize how connected they are. And like, oh my gosh, I've been doing these things that I've been doing, even though I know on some level they're not good for me and I should stop because they really do block me. But they stop me from having to feel any of this pain. Not a popular opinion and probably not going to be a happy thing for you to hear me say, but some of you might need to just feel this pain. Lean into it. Allow it out. Let it be expressed so that it's released and let go of. It's almost like this big sigh of relief in doing it. Not at first. It's going to be heavy and hard, but it will get you where you need to go into the energy of surrender and connection. But there's definitely a story and a narrative here about how this pain came to be and the patterns and habits and limiting beliefs that it created. Knight of Cups. Okay. Emotional energy. So it's like easy come, easy go. Somebody that had come in, I think maybe for many of you, broke your hearts, male or female, it doesn't matter. They came in, swept you off your feet, whirlwind type romantic energy connection, and then gone. And it might have left you in some pain and destabilization. It's interesting though, but for some of you, I feel like this has been going on for a very long time. Like that energy, that connection, that partnership happened years ago, but I am still in that pain. I'm still operating from a system that's really not helpful. And if this is showing up for you, not only are you being called to use your psychic abilities, your spiritual gifts and talents in a bigger way, but I also think it's because it's preparing you for a new connection that's going to be much healthier. Much more indicative of you, much more like a soulmate, right? And if we're still here, we're not going to be able to connect to it. We're not going to be able to trust the wisdom and the guidance coming through for spirit to believe in this connection, this romantic partnership coming through. But I think we're spelling, like it's kind of like a map here for you guys, showing the problems and the issues and what's coming through and how it's going to be positive for you in the end. But you have to lean in, you have to trust, you have to believe what you receive. And know that the timing is right and optimal for you to be receiving, for you to start disconnecting from the pains of your past. And I really do feel like for some of you, it's because a new connection is going to be coming in, like a soulmate energy. Yeah. But I say this all the time because it's general, but I do think there's some polarity because I think it's more than one thing. It's more than just a new soulmate connection for some of you. I think for some of you, it is that, and you're going to connect psychically and intuitively to who this may be and where you need to look and who you need to trust. But I think for more of you too, it's like kind of a double narrative, a new kindred spirit, helpful person coming in, as well as an expansion of your own spiritual gifts that need to be integrated so that you can bring them out in the world and be some sort of a guide or channel to others through your wisdom, through your communication. That's a lot, but I definitely think there's something here. And then we've got The Magician on the bottom, your power, your magic, owning it. It was like this, needing to connect to this empower that you have. Very dismissed, or it's been put to the wayside for a lot of my message for choosers. Really time to up level it and bring it back out, because it's super potent right now and supportive to bring you positive new connections, to show you the way towards them, to trust them when they come, but also to bring your own gifts and talents out to be used for the world in some kind of way, in your small world or big world, whatever that looks like to you. Let's pull some moon cards. All right. Wow. Okay. I can guide and lead others wisely and with love. This is what I'm talking about. This is the energy I've been feeling right from the start. Some sort of a guide. And yeah, you're going to be called up to do this at moving forward in the future. It's not, the time is not right now. We have some mental and emotional things to work through, but this is where it takes you. I can guide and lead others wisely and with love. Yes, you can. And then we've got, I let go of the anxieties of others. So you definitely are an empath. And sometimes we absorb so much of the anxieties of others, worries, concerns, and even anger, that we can't separate it, because we're like a sponge to it. So looking at that as well and releasing it, asking Spirit to only keep your own energy and up level it and detach you from the energy of all others, sending it back to them with love and light. You're very powerful people here that chose message 4, I believe. Spiritually speaking, and with spiritual gifts. Every day I bring radical self-love to my mind, body, and spirit. And we're integration time, spontaneous awakening. Yeah. Every day I bring radical self-love to my mind, body, and spirit, coming into balance as best as you can. That blue flame energy, I think, will help with that. Okay, I'm going to cap this off with just a couple more simpler messages from my group 4s here. But message 4, wherever you get distracted, whatever pains from the past that you've been carrying that have made your heart heavy, created blocks, created habits and patterns that just need to be broken so that you can truly surrender to the divine, their wisdom, their guidance, and your gifts. Really, if you ever needed a wake-up call to that, it's this. It's this message. It feels so strong. Like, the time is now. Don't worry that it's like on that day of the new moon, if you're not giving yourself over to like meditation or connection, that you're going to miss it. It starts now. This video will be out. It's going to be out on Thursday, the 22nd. So that's still, I think, about a week until the actual new moon. And then that energy lasts for about a week after that. So you've got time, but just create space and time for this to happen. Be relaxed and independent, cat. Cats are, I talked about this one of the other messages. They're very good at connecting to the spiritual realm. They're very intuitive and psychically connected, like little antenna. Be relaxed and independent. Yep, you've got this. Turtle, be joyful and trusting. So there's some energies you're going to really want to lead into. Make your life a moving prayer. Surrender to prayer. Only asking for what you want, not what you fear. And being joyful and trusting, relaxed and independent. This is your way to it. This is your way to that connection, up leveling in a big, powerful way, so that it does happen more gently, and rather than not so gently because there's resistance. Okay, message 4. I am going to leave that there. I'm wishing you guys all a beautiful new moon, and really hope that you give yourself over to making space for this divine connection to start happening, and this activation to really come in for you, because I think it's going to bring in so many positive things. Take care, guys.